Alright guys, I'm just going to do a quick review of the Racer 2, the Makro. I've had the Makro 1, now I've got the Racer 2. I bought the Pro package. I don't often do reviews at all, and I don't often recommend machines, but after using this one and the Makro 1, I figured it's about time I'd done my first review on a detector. You'll see some things on here that you probably all know, and you've probably seen me or heard me on Dig This, Makro and Nocta forum. So yeah, I'll get on with it. It's my first review, if you have to excuse me. But let's try it. I'm just going to turn on the machine. Okay, so we've got it all switched on now. I like to use on the two-tone. As you can see, you've got an all-metal mode, a two-tone, a three-tone, a beach and a deep. As I said, I use the land most of the time, occasionally the beach now, but mostly the land, so I'm always on two-tone. Now, when you go down onto your gain, it's on at 70. Adjust this up to where you want it. I like it at 80. Makro 1 was a bit different, I could punch it up to 90, 95. On the Makro 2, it's got that extra power. There's no need to punch it up all the way, unless you're in an absolutely quiet area where there isn't a lot of signals. But 80, 85 max. I mean, you can keep it on 70 if you want to, but as far as it goes on the audio gain, you're not going to gain a lot by punching up to 90, 95. Now the ID filter, you're going to see when I go down to the ID filter, if it lets me go down the ID filter, on two-tone, that's why. Okay, ID filter, I've already set this machine. It usually comes as a standard on there at 10. I take it down to 3. A lot of people, they'll keep it on 7 or 8. You will miss the smaller targets without a shadow of a doubt. If you don't take it down to 3 or 4, most you want is 5, or you will miss the smaller targets. So that's your ID filter. Notch filter, I've always kept at 3, haven't changed it at all. Iron audio, I bring iron audio down to about 6. Don't need it really on the 10. You're still going to hear the iron through it, but you really need to hear the iron to hear the targets with the iron. Occasionally I've had targets that are sitting on top of the iron, and there's no way I'd have found those targets having it up that high. So I've always kept it that low all the time. Tone break, your choice. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with tone break. I keep it on the 10 now on tone break, but what I do is I go down to audio tone. Now audio tone, I think it's set as a factory preset at about 30, I think, somewhere around there. Now I like to really listen out to the different tones, the high and the low, so I put mine up to 60, which you can see on here. I'm not going to go into the audio tone noises because it's just going to be like an air test, which to me just doesn't work. It's got to be in the ground. So I do run the audio tone at 60. Okay, you can see now I've got mine preset at 87, but I do adjust that out in the field. Alright, the other thing you're going to find in this machine is, if you've had the Makro 1, there is different tones, and it is starting again. But believe you me, it's worth it. It is worth starting again on it. The machine goes deeper than the Makro 1. It is more stable. It's a lot more stable on the beach. Ground balancing, I've got my own method for ground balancing. A lot of you do the automatic, pull the trigger forward, keep pumping it up and down until you get the ground balance. What I do is when I ground balance, I push it forwards and then I adjust it manually to what I want it at. I find on pasture that the ground balance is really good between 44 and 48. So I would bring it all the way down. So just keep your trigger pushed forward and use the left button and bring it down to what you comfortably are with. But I mean, I'm between 40 and 48 to me is absolutely spot on. It pulls out them little targets that you wouldn't normally get if the ground balance is say 60 or 70. So really try and work with the machine. Try and listen to it. Don't treat it as a number machine. Treat it as completely analog, that you don't look at the screen at all. Just listen to your ears, because your ears are going to tell you everything. So that is the way to do it. Now, the other thing I found with this is when I use it on the beach mode, when you go down, the ID filter's at 10, notch filter's at 10, iron audio's at 10, tone break's at 10. Right, ID filter I would bring right down to 5, notch filter I would bring down to 5, sorry, not to 3. Iron audio, bring that down once again, bring it down to what you're comfortable with. It depends on what beach you're on. Beaches, they're all different. Wet sand, I find is absolutely amazing on the wet sand, and I've had some really good deep targets with it on the wet. Already I've had 1 gold ring and 1 silver ring on the wet, and I've only been out twice with it on the beach. So that says it for itself. The other things you're going to know about, like the torch underneath, you know how to do the ground balancing, the pinpointing. Most of you are going to get used to this. What I don't know, if you do know, a few of you will, but on the side of the machine you'll find a little lip. Now if you pull this lip, if we can find it, somewhere here we go. You pull that lip, you've got a little box. That little box, you could actually throw it away if you wanted to, because it doesn't do anything at the moment. But what Makro have done, they brought out a wireless headset which comes with a box similar to this. You just swap it over. Absolutely great idea, and it just slides into your metal detector. So it's really, really good idea. So it just goes back in, got the wireless headset, and it's all in the processor place, so it's not clumsy, it's not out in the open, it's just all sealed in there. So the wireless, yeah, they're £99 at the moment. I'm sure they'll go down a little bit in price, but they're worth every penny. I've just ordered myself a set because I think it's a great idea. Well, some of the things to train on, you're going to learn, but when you go down, you're going to get, literally, I'll go back to two-tone rather than beach, but my gain's set on 80 there. You can store these if you want. I'm not going to go into how to store them. There is an instruction manual that shows you how to store them, and then if you want to store your own settings, that's absolutely fine. The thing is, what you're going to find out is, this is why I say listen with your ears and not with the screen. I have had some deep targets going down to 16 inches, which is 0 on the screen, absolutely 0. But you've got a nice clarity either side of the target as you're swinging over it. It gives just a target, and you're thinking to yourself, well, why is there no numbers? The reason that is because simply it is just so deep that it cannot read what it is, but it still gives you a strong positive signal. Don't dig all the positive signals, really don't. There is some that are coming like iron. You've got to listen out, swing all round, do 360, keep going round it. If you're not sure of the target, like everybody says, if you're not sure, dig it out. Lots of practice with this has taught me a lot of things, and one is to dig some of the targets you think are iffy, and you think they sound like iron. Now, the shallow iron on this comes in at 4, maybe 6, but it sounds high tone, like you can got a conductive target. It is iron. You will get used to it. I don't dig that. I look at the numbers on that, and it's between 4 and 6. Occasionally it's 8 if it's really, really shallow, but I know it's iron, so I don't bother digging it. But I have had hammered coins come in at 12 on this machine. Now, the least I had on the Makro one was 30, 31. This, they can come in at 12, so just bear in mind, just listen. It is the signal that counts, not the numbers. Try to ignore the numbers. It's an absolutely fantastic machine. I would recommend this. I've had the Deus. I've got the E-Track still. I've sold one of my E-Tracks. I've sold a couple of my other machines because they're just not going to get used anymore, not with this and the Makro one. These are both great machines. You can obviously get different coils with them. I've got the Pro Pack, so I've got this coil. I've got the little 5-inch, great for stubble. It's a great coil. Pro Pack comes with all your covers, comes with battery recharger, case for the actual machine itself, as I say, the 2 coils. It comes with a few bits. £600, or £549. Yeah, it's a bloody good price, but there's no need to go and get the Pro package if you can't afford that. Just get the standard pack with the standard coil. Later on you can upgrade to the other coils. They are starting to bring out more coils now. The Mars have brought out a coil for it, which is really, really good apparently. I haven't used one myself, but I know someone on my dig that uses one and he says it's absolutely fantastic. They're also coming out with other different coils for it. But what a great machine. You cannot emphasise how good this machine is. The recovery on this machine is so fast. It's as fast as the Deus, the recovery. But I find this deeper. Yeah, you haven't got all the programs like you have with the Deus. You don't need them, not with this, you really don't. I had a coin 2 weeks ago. This coin was actually stuck to an iron plate. Foreign coin 1912. But it was stuck to an iron plate and it still gave me a cracking signal. Had the iron with it, but it gave me the bing bing either way, which was a fantastic find, because you just don't know what you're going to get with it, because it is that good. A lot of people have started to go over to these now. I think I was one of the first ones on my club to use one of these Makro ones, and then I think I'm the only one there with the Makro 2 at the moment, but the Makro 1 was really good. But this is just an upgrade from it. Literally just an upgrade. It's like having a Deus Light and then a Deus Full. This to me is no different. It's absolutely fantastic. So I don't recommend machines at all really, because it's each to their own. Everybody's got their own like niches which they like to do. But I've got to recommend this because it is so good for the money. I mean, the Makro one is fantastic. So if you are stuck with a small budget, get the Makro one. They're going for about 300 quid now. But really, really don't miss out on it. I'm sure they'll bring out another few modifications on the Racer 2. Not really needed, I don't think. It's got everything it possibly needs. But other than that, what can I say about it? It is that good. I would probably take a step back now and say that my E-Track is retired really, sitting in the back cupboard. Occasionally I may use it on the beach, that's about it. This is good, it's good on pasture, this is good on arable, ploughed, rolled. I haven't found anywhere it isn't good yet. So and I've tried everywhere with it, and it's just a beast. In the right hands it's even more of a beast, but this is a pick up and go machine. You could pick this up, you could turn it on, leave it on factory set, and you would still keep up with the big boys without a problem. It's just I like to go that little step further, do my own little tweaks, get that extra depth, get the extra sounds coming in. The other thing I like is if you go into all metal mode, you can see from here, go into all metal mode, then go down. You can get a threshold, a static threshold in your ears all the time, which is fantastic for the beach. And you can also go onto tracking, which is also fantastic for the beach if you're going on to wet and dry, water, wet sand. Because of the way it is, it tracks it all the way. So it stays stable. I went down the beach, lots of aluminium, lots of iron. It's an old Victorian site. And between it, I pulled out a nice little gold ring, and then just further up I pulled out a nice little silver ring. Plenty of coins with it. I mean, on the dry, it's no different than working on the land really. You're going to pick up the coins. It's going to be an absolute beast of a coin shooter on the sand. On the wet sand, I think it's an absolute beast. Yeah, there's going to be machines beating it. Of course there is. You're going to get the CTX that's going to get that a bit deeper with it. But this is going to pick out the stuff between the iron where the CTX won't. So, you know, it swings and roundabouts really, guys. I would recommend this on the beach all day long. As I say, I don't do the beaches much now at all because I don't have time, but I do the land a lot, and I find that I can use all metal mode. Don't really like it. I think it's unstable in all metal on the arable and on the ploughed. It's okay on the pasture, but arable and ploughed, when it's light fluffy, I don't think the all metals are that good because it just doesn't give you a positive signal. and that's why I got onto the two-tone. Three-tone, yeah, three-tone's okay, but three-tone really is less depth, without a doubt. If you go onto three-tone, it's less depth. But also, the thing to be aware of, if you put it in all metal, then two-tone, then three-tone, then beach, then deep, they're all different tones. Two-tone is the way to go with it all day long. You'll see probably reviews on YouTube, you'll see reviews on other sites, but a lot of guys are getting these now, and you know, word is gospel. Two-tone is one everybody's using, and it's simply because it is really deep, it's really positive signals, and it pulls out amongst the iron, and it works lovely on fluffy land where it's just been ploughed and rolled. A lot of air in there. This doesn't affect it at all, just doesn't affect it. It keeps the machine going absolutely stable wherever you go. Occasionally you're going to get, between the power lines, a different noise. You're going to get it in your ears. There's not a lot you can do about that really. On the Makro one, you had a frequency change. To be able to do that, you probably have on here. I haven't gone through it all yet, to be honest with you. There's your save down the bottom, look. So if you need to do a program and save it, you just put in the bottom, keep it on save, SA, and then pull the trigger back or push the button, I think it is, I'm not sure which one yet. But I have managed to save one so far, which is the one I use all the time anyway. But yeah guys, if you ain't got a great budget, but you want to keep up your Deus and E-Track or MindLab, then I would suggest the Makro all day long. There's a few more machines coming out now that are a bit cheaper, but I've used, well, I don't know, probably 15 different models of machines so far. I had the Deus 3 months, personal choice, but I sold it. Didn't like it at all, didn't like it for no depth for me. E-Track, love the E-Track, absolutely fantastic. I'm an absolute monster with the E-Track. But once you get on a machine with it, once you get on a field with iron, what can you say? It just nulls out. You just can't get between the iron like you can with this. The recovery speed just isn't fast enough. So yeah, I've gone over to this now, stayed with this, and I'm probably going to live with this until they bring another one out. It's absolutely fantastic machine. Right guys, probably a few things I've done wrong there, but it is my first time recording a review. So I hope you enjoy what you've seen, and hopefully I'll do a few more and definitely do some out in the field with it. Bye now.